heard from everybody, basically. And I asked, okay, well, what does it mean to be a part of a community? Why would you want to be a part of a community? What does that mean to you? How does that help you as an artist? And this is what she said, responded back with. She said, I sometimes feel isolated with questions that my non-artist friends and acquaintances may not understand or be unable to answer. In an association, there's a commitment, a support network focused around common interests, the creative process, and other topics which matter to artists wanting to go professional. So I take that to mean, I don't think I could say it any better than that. That it's really about having a group of people around you who understand this thing that you're trying to do, and they don't just care about you because they're family members or friends. They're actually in it. They're actually trying to do it with you, right? Like that quote about the man in the arena from Teddy Roosevelt, where he says, that you should be paying attention to the people who are in the arena, who are getting dirty, who are, making things happen and trying to do the same thing you're doing. So I've been running The Abundant Artist for 8 years, since 2009. And when I started, it was all about, okay, I'm going to teach everybody how to sell art. I'm going to, I know a little bit about internet marketing, and I'm going to teach my fellow artists how to sell their stuff. And then my very first course that I ever created was all about, like, it was, here's everything I know about marketing. And it was just this huge download of information. And it was hours and hours long, and people didn't finish it, and it was too hard and too confusing. It was just too much. And so I learned how to refine that and turn that into great courses that get good results, and lots of people like those courses now. But the thing that people have started saying to me over and over again is, okay, I have this knowledge. I know what I'm supposed to be doing as an artist. I know that I need to be sharing my stuff online. I know I need to be marketing myself. I know I need to spend time marketing. But a real challenge that I have is I feel isolated. I feel alone. I can only self-generate for so long. I can only do my own thing for so long. I need some people around me to help figure it out. And, this is especially true for those artists who don't live in one of the big art hubs. If you don't live in New York City, or if you don't live in San Francisco or one of the other big art hubs, maybe you live in South Carolina or Utah somewhere, and, you live in a small town or a rural town. There might not be another artist in your area who is serious and striving to be a professional. So that can be pretty isolating. And, you're not going to pick up and move to New York City because your life is there. So what do? Oh no! Apparently you drop your phone and make everybody on Instagram laugh at you. Let me put this back on my stand here. Sorry, guys. Cool. All right. So several artists said that when we were having this conversation yesterday, several artists said, I really want to see how other artists are succeeding. I want to know numbers. I want to know, how many paintings did you sell? What did you sell them for? What was your profit margin? Any of that kind of stuff. And that's what I want to see happen in the Abundant Artist community as well. And that is starting to happen. People are starting to share their numbers behind the scenes and all that good stuff. So I think that's pretty exciting. And one artist said, she said, I like this thing that she said about wanting to engage a community of artists to advance the awareness of upcycled art. So she takes stuff that other people think is trash or recycling, and she makes art out of it. And it's beautiful stuff that she's getting a lot of attention for. She's selling it. She's doing solo shows. But not a ton of people know the term upcycled art, or they're just not familiar with it. And so I think any artist who can, if they're doing something a little bit unusual or unfamiliar to their local community, gathering people around you who understand what you're doing is a really powerful way of giving yourself a platform and a base to build from. So it is, let's settle in for a story here. I have a glass of milk. I have a chocolate chip cookie. If you have your own favorite beverage and or treat for the evening. We're going to be here for a few more minutes, so feel free to get settled in, and I'm going to tell you a little story. One of my favorite stories about in all of art history, I was in France in 2014. I spent 6 months living in Paris and traveling around France. And I went to Giverny, which is the home of Claude Monet. Now, I want to know, if you're watching, are you a cookie dunker, or do you eat the cookie and then drink the milk? That's what I want to know. I'm asking the important questions here. So when I went to Giverny and saw the Claude Monet estate, one of the things that I learned is that Monet and the other people who were painting like Monet was, they weren't called Impressionists yet. They didn't call themselves anything. They were just a group of artists who were interested in the way that light hit the water and wanted to capture the way that light moved, rather than trying to do these formal portraits that a lot of other artists were doing, a lot of the members of the Academy and stuff like that. And Monet and Degas, Manet, and some of the others, they were all super bored with what other artists were doing, wanted to do their own thing, but the French Academy was like, nah, we don't want any of that. We don't want you messing up our beautiful, pristine, formal walls with your quick, inexact paintings. And so Monet and these other artists got together and they formed a co-op. They formed a co-op that was called the Cooperative Company of Artists, Painters, Sculptors, and Engravers. It was a very boring name. Laurie Parrish says, not a dunker. Okay. So the Cooperative Company of Artists, Painters, Sculptors, and Engravers consisted of Monet, Manet, Degas, and a handful of other unknown artists. Lee Kennedy says she's a dunker. Nice. So they got together and they put on their own show, and the show was directly competing with the French Academy's live show. And this critic came to the show, and he saw Monet's sunset and he didn't like it. And he wrote this terrible review in the French newspaper the next morning saying, Claude Monet's painting of a sunset isn't even a sunset. It's barely an impression of a sunset. And that's where the story of the Impressionists comes from. The Impressionists said, okay, he said that it was an impression of a sunset. We will claim that name and we'll take it with us, and that'll be ours. And I love that story so much. I tell it over and over again every time I give a public talk. And that story of a group of artists banding together to make a thing that they love making and selling it in a way that they love selling it, they fundamentally changed the way that art business was working. Before the Impressionists, you had to be a member of the Academy if you wanted to sell anything. And they fundamentally changed what people were doing with art. And so there's all this noise right now around, in our world, in our 2017 world, there's all this noise around what is good art, and this art is good and that art is bad, and it's the same thing that's been happening for centuries. People who are in the upper echelons of the art world and who are sort of making all the money, they're making a lot of money from an art that is of a certain style or a certain type, but so much of the art is just the same thing over and over again. And I always like to tell artists, if you want to know what's popular right now, if you want to see what the big art galleries are selling, go to Tumblr and look up the Tumblr blogs for the big art galleries, the Saatchi Gallery and some of the other big art galleries that are out there right now, and you'll start to see like patterns of the same kind of art over and over again. And that's just what the current ideas are. Even though that art that is really popular in the big galleries right now may or may not be popular with the wider world at all. Like most people probably couldn't care less about what's there. But the thing is, a lot of what you are making, if you're watching this broadcast, a lot of what you are making is the kind of stuff that the average person would really enjoy. And there's a huge audience for what you're doing. $20 billion worth of art in 2016 was sold outside of the art gallery and art auction world. Just individual artists selling art to individual collectors. And so one artist in our conversation yesterday inside the association, one artist said that she liked the idea of emulating the Impressionists and actually building something new for ourselves. With the internet, we can get artists together from all over the globe and we can share ideas and support each other. I always love the thought of the old salons, and it would really be something if we could build something like that here. That's my goal. That's what I want to have happen. And that's what I want to help you do, not only online through our online community, but also locally where you are. The upcycled artist that I talked about earlier, she has a vision of creating a space locally in her city in an abandoned storefront where other upcycled artists would show their work and get together to talk about art business. I would love to see her do that, and definitely want to support her doing that through what we're doing here at the association. So if you are interested in learning more about the Abundant Artists Association, feel free to head on over to theabundantartist.com/association. Happy to have you come join us. In addition to cookies. By the way, if you're watching this, you probably know that I have a penchant for sweets, and I'm eating a chocolate chip cookie because I'm experimenting with chocolate chip cookie recipes, and I'm launching a chocolate chip cookie recipe blog. More to be continued. Uh-oh. My Instagram live video ended. Okay. So I just want to talk a little bit more. In addition, come on, Instagram. There we go. Okay, Instagram is back. The community aspect of having an online community and having people who can talk and help each other and stuff, that's great, and that's definitely what we want to do. And I definitely want to be helping artists create local communities wherever they are. But it's also about information sharing. Several people said that the other reason that they joined the Abundant Artist Association was for the online courses. So I make the assumption that people know about the courses that we offer. And I'm not going to go into a big sales pitch here, but I do want you to know what it is that we offer in addition to the community, the online connection with each other. It's not just about connection. It's not just about, feeling good and having people that have your back. It's also about real information that we have used to help artists get real what's the word I'm looking for? Real results in selling their art. So Jacqueline Hirschman says she's an Oreo. If it's Oreos, she dunks them. If it's a chocolate chip cookie, you eat it and then drink. I like the way you're thinking, Jacqueline. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm eating chocolate chip cookies and drinking milk. Lyric, I'm assuming you are a upcycled artist because you said you want to meet her. I'm assuming you're talking about the upcycled artist that I was talking about. Hello over on Instagram. Hello, Kevin Benton, Mike Bone, Erica Ray Art, Elizabeth, Raj Model World, Rad G Model World. I love trying to read people's Instagram usernames out loud. So we, at the Abundant Artist, our core program is called How to Sell Your Art Online. And we have a 101, a 201, and a 301 version of those courses. The 101 version of the course is, I've never sold art online, or I've only ever sold 1 or 2 pieces. I don't know how to sell my art. This is the core, like the very basic program that we have been taking people through for 8 years. It's been refined and honed. I feel really good about it. If you go to theabundantartist.com/praise, you can see lots of feedback from artists who have been through these courses. And the 101 course basically walks you through how to figure out what makes you different from all the other artists that are out there. Who your ideal collectors are, where to find them, and how to tell your story in an interesting and compelling way, or the story of your art in an interesting and compelling way. The 201 course is built for those artists who they know their story and they've made some sales. Maybe they're not quite making a living from their work. Hey, Claire, good to see you. But they're looking for a way to create a repeatable sales process. So if you're looking for a repeatable sales process, the How to Sell Your Art Online 201 course is that course. We'll walk you through how to write blog posts that are effective, that you can use over and over again, how to build a mailing list, and how to, once somebody's on your mailing list, how to get them to buy something in the first 2 weeks that they're on your mailing list. That's our goal, is to create a repeatable process so that every time a new person gets on your mailing list, they get a pitch, and you are very likely to start making sales on a repeat basis once you've taken that class. And then our 301 course, which is media and PR, it's all about how to go out and pitch media, like newspapers, magazines, television, blogs, and also how to use social media effectively. So here's like a thing that doesn't get talked about often enough, I feel like. Everybody's like, oh, Instagram, Instagram, Instagram. We did a training on Instagram earlier today with Amira Rahim, and Instagram's awesome. I love it. If it works for you, great. But it is very, very difficult to grow a social media following by following people and hoping they follow you back and commenting on other people's stuff and hoping they notice you. Like, that is just a slow, grinded out way of growing your following. In our 301 course, we show you how to go to leverage other people's people, to leverage other people who have larger audiences than you, to get your stuff in front of their people so that you can grow your audience that way. That is the smart, quick way to grow your audience. So my point in going through all of these courses is to say that so the URL for the association is theabundantartist.com/association. And if you're looking for the case study page, it's /praise. My reason for going through all these courses is to say all of these courses are included in our association membership, the yearly subscription, which is $400. We have a $25 a month and a $40 a month subscription, but John says, thanks for all these webinars. Absolutely. What else am I going to do? I'm just sitting here, waiting for people to join my program. That's not true. I'm working really hard to help my coaching clients too. I am really excited about this association. This is the big thing. Like, since launching The Abundant Artist, this is the thing that I have been the most excited about. I think it's the thing that's going to make the biggest difference in the art world as a whole, and the biggest difference for the artists who join the program. So if you want an online community that will help you and support you and be there with you, and also are looking for information on how to sell your art, how to grow a following, how to tell your story well, we have all of that, and you can get it for $400. And you can get that at theabundantartist.com/association. So that's really all I came here to say today. Daniel Tate says, will the courses be on webinar? Daniel, all of the courses are actually, like, they're much more produced than this. This is just me sitting here talking. The courses have anywhere from 5 to 10 videos that are 10 to 15 minutes each that'll show you how to attack specific aspects of marketing. and give you downloadable worksheets and action items to do. The courses are much more structured than what we're doing now, but this is a similar format. It's video. If you enjoy doing video, you'll enjoy the courses. If you don't like video, we have transcripts of everything. You don't have to watch the videos. You can read everything if you want. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had today. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope that you go find your favorite treat, whether you are a dunker or a drinker. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your summer evening or morning if you are over in the other side of the world. So thanks a lot, everybody, and have a great day.